In this video, I'm going to be going over the algorithm for rounding decimal numbers. I would strongly suggest that you see or watch first the other video on rounding whole numbers before you watch this one. I am going to proceed with this video kind of from that standpoint as if you have already seen the other video on rounding whole numbers, because they are almost identical in the process except for one step. Okay, so let's take a decimal number. Let's do 7 and 284 thousandths, and we're going to round this number to the nearest tenths place. So once again on our flow chart, first step, mark the place you're rounding with a dot. So the 2 is in the tenths place, mark it with a dot. Look at the digit directly to the right of that digit and underline it. And right here is the underlined digit less than 5. The answer is no. If no, we're going to round the digit we marked with a dot up by 1, add 1 to it. That becomes a 3. All of the digits behind the digit you marked are dropped off. This is the step that is different than rounding whole numbers. And the last step, all of the other digits will stay the same, including the decimal. So drop the decimal, the 7 stays the same. So this number rounded to the nearest tenths place would be 7 and 3 tenths. Notice the answer, or the last digit of the answer, ends up in the place to where you were rounding it. Now also, from the other video, if you remember, this section right here, we had a little saying that we used to kind of take the place of these steps. If the underlined digit is 4 or less, you let it, the digit you marked with the dot, rest. In other words, it will stay the same. However, if the underlined digit is 5 or more, you will raise its, the dotted digit, score. And you always raise it up by 1. So that's what happened here. When we got to the underlined digit, it was 5 or more, so we raised the dotted digit score up to a 3. Just add 1 to it. And then, of course, next step, all of the digits behind the one you marked are dropped off. All of the other digits stay the same. Let's look at another one. Let's take the decimal number 24 and 314 thousandths, and we're going to round this one to the nearest hundredths place, or the nearest hundredths place. So mark the place you're rounding with a dot. The 1 is in the hundredths place. Underline the digit to the right. Now the underlined digit, is it 4 or less? Yes, it is, so we will let it rest. The 1 will stay the same. Next step, all the digits behind the one we marked are dropped off. And remember, what we mean by behind is to the right. And last step, all of the other digits will stay the same. So the 3, the decimal, the 4, the 1. So this answer would be 24 and 31 hundredths. So if you will follow this flow chart for rounding decimal numbers, it tells you step by step how to round them, and hopefully pretty soon you won't even need to use the flow chart anymore. Good luck in rounding your decimal numbers.